Carl, welcome to this week's edition of In the Dugout. We'll start off just one question from the fans this week from Yvonne Brown, asking if Sean Leaf will be coming back to the club in any sort of capacity.
We'd love to find something for Sean, and Sean is into me all the time, and when are you getting me back, when are you getting me back, and it's on the radar, but at this moment in time, you know, there's not a role for Sean just yet. Fans' favourite, everyone loves him, and yeah, we told him to go away for a year, and then we'll look at something after that. But at this moment in time, he knows, and he's busy with Macca's testimonial anyway, so he ain't got time to do anything else. Macca's running him ragged.
One of the key roles, obviously, that does need filling over the next couple of weeks or so is the head coach role. Are we any further to appointing a new head coach?
We're getting there. The coaches in place are fully aware of what we're doing and what direction the club wants to go, and we're looking at a coaching team, not a specific coach at the moment. But we're close, but it's not worth saying anything, because you can be close and the next day you can be a mile away. So we've had some good applicants, we've narrowed them down, and we think we're close.
So without naming any names, obviously, have you got an idea of who the man you want to take control?
Oh, the coaching team's got a say in it. Reece and Peter's certainly got a say in it, and that's how it should be. They have to work with the fella every day, or we don't know yet. It might be one of them, we don't know. So we'll do what we think's right for the club.
Some good news over last weekend with Reece Dean rejoining the club on a deal till the end of the season. You must have been pleased to get that done, add a bit more competitiveness within the squad. Yeah,
I think Pete, Reece Lovegrove mentioned him to Pete, and they came to me, and he had some interest from elsewhere, so we're grateful we got him. Enjoyed his time here last time he was here, so that helped. Certainly gives some competition for places. He can play in numerous positions, and he's a handy player. So we're lucky that he chose us, because he did have a few other options.
Obviously he's had a tough time of it at Toronto, hasn't he? Not really featured as much as he would have liked. Do you think it'll take him a bit of time to get going, or will knowing the place help him?
He knows a lot of the boys, and he knows the place, and he can play. For whatever reason, went off at Toronto, it's none of our business, and he became available, and like we said last week, I think if players become available and we feel they'll add to us and strengthen us, we'll have a shot at them.
And obviously he's signed on a contract until the end of the season. Is there an option to extend that if he does well?
Same as everyone. If he does well, we'll talk to him about next year and year after that maybe, and he can play.
And a week off for the players last weekend as well. We mentioned this time last week on Dugout how big a month June is. How important could that week's rest be ahead of 3 tough tests against the Cumbrian teams?
We might have done us better to play, we don't know, but with a few injuries we had, they've had going to have a good couple of weeks training. We've got a real tough test ahead of us, but I think, like I said last week, there's a bit of a uplift about the place after Keighley game, because I'm not going to hide the fact Keighley's a real good side. They've been playing really well. They've been beating teams by some big scores. So that give us all hope, eh? And it was a real good gutsy win, and that's how you have to win in Cumbria. I said last week, I think it doesn't matter if they're at the top or the bottom of the league. When you go up there, it's physical, and you've got to get over the journey, and we go with the right frame of mind and the right attitude. Same attitude we had at Keighley, then we give ourselves a massive chance of winning the game.
And obviously it's a cliche that you take every game as it comes, but what is a realistic target or aspiration for the Dons after these 3 games? What would represent a good position for you?
To win them all. We're 4th in the league. at the start of the year we didn't want to be fourth. We want to be up there. So you know, it's we want to win every game. So does everyone else. That, you know, our club's not arrogant or cocky or anything, but everyone wants to do what we want to do, and all the teams who play us play good against us, and you know. But if we concentrate on ourselves and do what the coaches and the master do, and you know, do your job properly, then we, you know, the pleasing thing is, no matter who I've spoke to, regardless whether it's for the coaching job or what, that nobody says, oh, I think you need to bring in this. We've got Hull, we know that, but everyone thinks we've got the team here. So that's been a real pleasing part in the process, that, you know, everyone says you've certainly got the team. It's just probably picking the right 17 out of the 25, or so. You know, we should go to Workington with some confidence. That again, Keighley was big for us. Tricky fixture, and we had some key players missing as well. So to do that, it's give us hope.
And you mentioned they're Workington away this weekend. What sort of test are you expecting?
Just tough, physical. They'll come straight at us. They'll get stuck in. You know, we've all watched the game against Hunslet. It was a tough battle, and Hunslet's a physical side. So it'll be tough. If we can go and play some rugby on them, we may be alright. I'm sure they've got the coaches have got that all under control. So it's be one to be looking forward to, because it'll be a hard game. And then we're back at home against the champions.
How big a statement of intent could it be if we go up to Workington, claim 2 points, and then we've got a chance to come back here, haven't we, and put on a performance against Barrow? Yeah,
and again we got some momentum from Keighley. If we can get Workington, we'll go into the Barrow game with some confidence, because they've had some real tough fixtures and some real travelling to do, which was real difficult for them. They've had a real horrific May, so hopefully they'll still be a little bit tired when they get here. Hopefully it catches up on them. But the Barrow game is important, but we need to just worry about Workington. If we don't, we're not that good that we can just start looking ahead. We need to just focus on each game, and the players are working hard. There's a bit of a feel-good factor amongst them as well. You know, who knows? They may pick the same team that played Keighley, so there's some continuity there. But we're all intrigued, aren't we? And we'll see.
Thanks, Carl.